Good day everyone, welcome to ABAP-Experts.com. In today's session we're going to have a look at ZTRA. ZTRA is our transport management solution, which is an add-on to SAP R3. Now in this recording we will try to have a quick and rough overview of ZTRA, so we will not be going into the very fine details or to explore all the rich features that the tool is equipped with. So another thing, the easiest way to run a demo is to move a transport from our development box to our acceptance box. Now, shortly before I started this recording, I've already created a dummy test program which is contained in a transport request. And we're going to move this transport request from our development AE1 system to our acceptance box, which is AE2. So what we're going to do is we're going to release the transport task, and we're going to release the main transport. And here we get a pop-up. This is also the very first interaction with ZTRA. ZTRA, at the time of releasing a transport, will ask you to immediately create a transport form. Now, a transport form in ZTRA is the central document in order to add attributes, define the transport path, to collect the approvals, and to physically also move the transport through the landscape. So we're going to create a transport form for our transport ending on 9.8. So here we see we document the source system, the target system, the project, etc, etc. Now maybe worth mentioning, the project is basically the identifier which will also decide on what transport path your request will follow through its entire life cycle. Now, in order to save myself a bit of typing, I'm going to create the transport by reference. So basically, all the attributes of a reference transport form are being copied into this specific transport form. Now, besides creation by reference, you could also have all the attributes being populated via the user settings. Now, it's maybe also worth mentioning that all the attributes shown here on the screen, about all of them are fully configurable. You could also introduce your own attributes. It is even possible to attach documents there, so in case you only want to transport requests through your landscape, in case there is a unit test plan implemented, you can perfectly implement that within the transport form as well. So here we go, we've completed the form and we're going to hit the save button. Now this is and now we get a warning, which is probably the most important feature of ZTRA, which is called dump prediction. Now what dump prediction tries to do is it will try to safeguard your target or your productive instance. So we have a fairly complex algorithm in place which will scan through the contents of a transport and will try to identify dangerous or incorrect steps. So in case you got, for instance, a workbench transport that contains a program, it will verify whether the previous version of the same program is actually already transported to prevent overtakers. But we go a lot further than this because the tool is built over a period of 10 years, so there is a lot of knowledge and a lot of actual real-life experience built into the tool. In case you transport a function module, we will automatically verify whether the function group is consistent and whether it was also moved into the target system. Now, besides technical dependencies, we are also able to capture configuration dependencies. Now, going back to this specific example here, we see, and let me activate info and comments, let me refresh quickly, and here we can see that our test program actually has a prerequisite which was not yet moved into the target system. So what we're going to do is I'm going to define an import sequence. Going to the import sequence screen, 9.8, which is the transport that we want to move, let's define a prerequisite. And I copy paste the transport number in there, and I will save the import sequence. And if I would then rerun dump prediction, we would see that the message goes from red to error to green. No warnings anymore. And we could also continue saving the transport form. Now, clearly, this is probably the easiest dependency that you can check for. Now, what we've done is we've created a transport form. Now, the next step in the entire chain is to also have an approval of your transport before it's physically moved from one system to the other system. Now again, since this is a demo environment, I have the full rights and I'm basically also the approval of my own transports. Now let me go into my inbox, and I can see at the moment I got 2 pending approvals, which is the 9.6 and the 9.8. Let's continue with the 9.6. If I go into the detailed info screen, onto the approval tab, I can see that this specific transport has 2 approving levels. The number of approving levels is configurable depending upon the target system and your project. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to fully approve this transport, and it went from red to green. If I would now hit the save button, we will immediately trigger the import into AE2. Now we do get a log on screen, but this is only because in our demo environment we did not yet maintain a trusted connection. And we will see the import is immediately being triggered. Now, besides an immediate import, we also have the option to go for scheduled imports, especially for production environments. You don't want to have your consultants, your developers immediately importing into your production box, and therefore you can perfectly collect transports into a batch, and using a batch program you can schedule then your import into the target system. Good. I think we've touched base upon the high-level features of ZTRA, so I think all of us know what ZTRA actually is and what it could do. Now, please do get back to us. Do keep an eye on our website, because we will be posting more and more recordings and videos in order to go into some of the very rich features that ZTRA comes with. So, thanks for listening, and keep an eye on us. Bye-bye.